Welcome to another Ayehu NG tutorial. In this video, we'll show how Ayehu NG can dramatically reduce the amount of time it takes to onboard new employees by using automation. Automating typical onboarding processes can also save money and reduce human errors. One of Ayehu's sales engineers will be narrating the demonstration.
So, as Guy has explained in his presentation, onboarding an employee in an automated fashion, is extremely beneficial in terms of not only saving time, which I really appreciated the way you put it, returning hours to the business, but also in reducing errors. Because unfortunately, the problem often exists between the chair and the keyboard, and that would be us, the users and the operators. So what we're going to do today is we are going to submit a ticket with a custom form on ServiceNow to onboard a new hire. So I'm going to go over here to my ServiceNow dashboard and submit a new ticket. How about let's onboard a new hire with Ayehu NG. And then you see I've got a custom form I created here for new hire onboarding. We'll say John Doe in the New York office. A phone number that doesn't really exist. And we'll say an office extension number here and a job code, IT001. We're going to say that we would like to send in the new hire documents. We'd also like to submit a second ticket requesting a facility setup, create a network drive for the new hire, as well as an Active Directory account. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that ticket right there and then return over to my Ayehu system. I'm going to look at the Ayehu Live dashboard, and we can see that the automating onboarding process has already started here as the ticket was received by the Ayehu platform. We can see over here currently it's running at about 15 seconds, 16 seconds. Let's see how long it takes for this process to complete. We are looking at under 30 seconds. Great. Okay. So, what sort of things did we do during this onboarding process? If I return over to the ServiceNow ticket, we can see that there's a whole bunch more information than there was when I first submitted it. Some work notes have been added. We've got a note here letting us know a new mailbox was successfully created in Office 365 for the new hire, John Doe. Gives us the new email address. Also tells us an Active Directory account was created. Also lets us know that a network folder was also created for the user, John Doe, along with the full path. Lets us know that the new hire documents were emailed out to John, and also that a new ticket requesting a facility setup was created. So before we continue, I want to take a look in ServiceNow for that ticket number there that the onboarding process says it generated for facility setup. Well, we could take a look here. It's got a description stating a facility setup request for new hire John Doe in New York with the job code. That way they have all the pertinent information they need. Going back to the original ticket, we can see the final work note that the onboarding process for John Doe is complete. All right, so I am going to pull up Active Directory, and I want us to take a look at the new account that was just created. Give me just a moment here. All right. So we can see our John Doe account here in our Active Directory instance was created with the job code I specified for my ticket. There's the mobile number I gave it, the new email address that it generated and created in Office 365. Also, the IP phone extension is in there as well. And if I go over to my network folders, under the New York category, we can see that a folder was created for John J. Doe just a moment ago. Now, how about logging into the Office 365 mailbox that we just created? All right, I've got it pulled up in my browser here. Let's go ahead and sign in. jdoe@yahoo.com. There's our password that was generated. go into Outlook because I should have some new hire documents waiting for me. Oh, great. There we are. Emailed just a moment ago. Nice little welcome message along with some attachments, an HR policies and procedures document, a welcome document, as well as relevant tax forms. So we can see those are all sent. Well, that's nice. Come back over here, and I'm going to return over to the Yahoo platform so we can take a look at the workflow that was responsible for this process, so we can see how simple it really was. Opening up my menu here, I'm going to the Workflow Designer. Now remember, our onboarding request was submitted through a ServiceNow ticket. We gave it some basic information, and it went ahead and set up an Active Directory account, an Office 365 account, a network folder, and also requested a new ticket for a facility setup. And all along the way, it updated the original ticket with information, letting us know at which phase of the onboarding process we currently are. So in my Workflow Designer here, I'm looking at a very nice and easy to use, simple drag and drop interface. If I can focus your attention over to the left side of the screen, we can see our activities toolbox. All of our native out-of-the-box integrations and their various activities can be found here. All of these are easy to drag and drop right over into your Workflow Designer. So let's say, for example, I'm looking at the Active Directory category. All sorts of various activities for account, password, and group manipulation, as well as manual LDAP queries. Let's say I want to look at the Create Account activity. Drag it over to my workflow like that. And after configuring a few simple data points, I could save it, and just like that, it's ready to go. No coding or scripting necessary, and it's already part of my workflow. You know, the goal with the Yahoo platform is to do the heavy lifting for you and let you get right into automating your most common, whether simple or complex, IT processes. If you return back over to the left side of the screen, looking down under the controls, we can see we have all of these classic controls for, logic with if-else branches, while loops, parallels, things like that. So it gives you, ultimate control over your workflow. Focusing back towards the actual designer here, we can see the simple workflow that was responsible for this process. We are building the account and email address here by taking the first initial and then the last name. We're generating a nice new random password that meets our Active Directory requirements. We're also creating our account in Office 365. If I move on down, we can see that if anything should go wrong at any point in the process, we actually update our ticket. This is great for error handling. Let's say you do submit a new onboarding ticket, right? And somebody who filled out the form forgot the last name, for example, or forgot some other pertinent piece of information. If any sort of error should occur, the ticket will be updated, and it lets us know that a person must step in to make sure that form is complete. And moving down, we can see that it creates the Active Directory account. It's updating our ServiceNow ticket all along the way, creating our network folder, and then it's using a nice, convenient send email activity to bring the new hire all of his documents, and then finally updating the ServiceNow ticket to let us know that the process has been completed. Some of the Active Directory activities that we see in this workflow are ones like the Create Account that I showed you a moment ago. All of that information was dynamically filled in from the ServiceNow ticket, and other very highly utilizable activities like the set property, where we can store all types of different bits of information for a given Active Directory account. So that there was the workflow responsible for the process. And in a few remaining moments I've got here, I want to show you just how easy it is for our platform to connect to these various systems. I'm going to open up our menu here and go over to our modules section. We can see for a platform like ServiceNow, all I need to do is specify an endpoint URL, username, and password. And just like that, the bidirectional communication with our platform and a platform like ServiceNow is already happening. If I expand over here, we can see that we can do all of our form and field discovery automatically. Our platform works on the back end with all of the APIs for these various services and applications that we integrate to. So something like ServiceNow or Sharewell, for example, all of your forms, whether they are ones that came out of the box or ones like the custom onboarding form I created, they're all automatically discovered. And then I can discover all of those fields automatically too. And should I ever make changes to any of those forms or fields in my ServiceNow or Cherwell environment, I just come right back here, click refresh, and all the hard work is done for me. I don't have to worry about remembering different labels and things like that. Lastly, I'd like us to take just a very brief look at the audit trail here. This is a great place to sort of debug and also see live events that came into our system. Here is the new hire onboarding process. We could see that should anybody ever desire a report on all of the employees that were recently onboarded or mass offboarded, for a scenario that Guy kind of laid out earlier in the presentation, we could come here and easily export it to Excel format. And each step of the process along the way is detailed for us in such a way that it's easy to understand and it's great for record keeping in general.
This concludes our tutorial on how to reduce onboarding from days to seconds using Ayehu NG. For more information, please visit our support portal at support.ayehu.com.